Hello children. So let's study a very exciting, very interesting topic and very practical topic today. For example, if I give an example like this, so we have only 26 English alphabets, and using this 26 English alphabets, how many words can be formed? So as you know, huge dictionary can be formed, right? In fact, in any dictionary, so the dictionary is formed out of this using only 26 English alphabets, right? Similarly, only 10 digits are there, 0 to 9. And how many numbers are there, right? That means such concepts we are using in our daily life. Similarly, whenever you just now open your wardrobe and you have some clothes, then whenever you just not try to just know not to repeat your combination of clothes, so you make different arrangements, you make different combinations, right? So basically in every day, how many times we are using mathematics. So this is the topic. The topic we are going to study today is such an interesting topic. Okay, so let's start the topic, and as we proceed towards the various concepts involved in the topic, you really can enjoy and you really feel how much practical this topic is and how much you can say every day, every moment, how many times we actually using this. So let's begin the topic. So to begin with the topic, permutation and combination. So before that, I would like to take one example. Suppose in our school, so whenever you are in the ground floor, so you are in the ground floor and you want to go to second floor, right? Suppose from ground floor, we have 2 staircases to first floor and 3 staircases to second floor, right? Now, my question here is, in how many ways you can reach second floor from ground floor, right? So now you see here, if I write here, it is suppose G1, G2, 2 staircases, and this is F1, F2, F3. So you may go G1, you may use G1 staircase, then F1 or F2 or F3. Similarly, you may use the staircase G2, then F1 or F2 or F3. That means here from ground floor to first floor, you can use any one of the 2 staircases. And from here, you can see any one of the 3 staircases. That means you may have this combination G1 F1, G1 F2, G1 F3. Similarly, you may go like this G2 F1, G2 F2, G2 F3. That means all possible ways is 6, right? 6 ways you can reach from ground floor to second floor. Or we can say from ground floor to first floor, 2 ways, from first floor to second floor, 3 ways. The total number of ways you can reach from ground floor to second floor is 2 into 3, 6. So this we call fundamental principle of counting. Okay, fundamental principle of counting. Now, fundamental principle of counting, we divide it into 2 types. One is multiplication rule, the other one is addition rule. Okay, now here, as I have shown you this example, one more example, let me take one more example. Suppose, for example, in the early morning, you are really feeling very lazy. You can say winter morning, right? And you have to get ready to go to school, right? and you have to select something to wear for your class. So maybe you can take nowadays online classes are happening and you have to be in a proper dress code, right? So if the rule is, so you have to, when you have to sign up for your class, yeah, so you have to see, suppose for example, you have to wear jeans, so only two colors are allowed. So it means you can wear either black jeans, okay, either black or blue. These two color jeans. So black jeans I can take J1, blue jeans I can take J2, right? And with this, so maybe you want to wear what? The dress code of the school. So three t-shirts you can use. So three t-shirts, one may be yellow or blue or red. Okay, you may have yellow, red, blue. Okay, so it means then that way with black jeans you can have yellow or red or blue. Similarly with blue jeans also you have yellow t-shirt or red t-shirt or black t-shirt. Sorry, blue t-shirt. Okay, so like this. Okay, now you have sneakers you have to wear. So two pairs of sneakers to select also. So it may be you may have to, yeah, one is black sneaker or red. So this is basically what I'm telling you. Suppose the dress code is like this. So now jeans, black jeans, then this any one of the three t-shirts, then sneakers you can wear either black or red. So here you can say black, red, then here black sneaker or red sneaker, similarly black or red. And with this also black or red, here also black or red, right? Or black or red. So you can see how many ways you can dress up. Now for the class, how many ways you can dress up? If you count this, no, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So but every time, no, counting like this is not possible, right? If you have many events, okay, then you cannot count. It's time taking. So what we can see here, if I write here, so selecting jeans, black and blue. So two jeans that can be done in two ways. Then selecting any one of the three t-shirts can be done in three ways, different ways. And selecting the sneakers, any one pairs of sneakers out of two pairs, that can be done in two ways. So total number of dressing up would be 2 into 3 into 2, 12. Right? Here also we are getting 12 ways. So this is called multiplication rule. Right? Similarly, if I take another example, again I am going to the school building. So here you have ground floor and ground, you want to go to second floor from ground floor. Suppose for example, we have two staircases, right? Two staircases and three lifts. So if so you have to go from ground floor to second floor either by using staircases or by using lifts. So that means you may go by S1, S2, two staircases. You may use two staircases or you may use three lifts. One out of these three. So what you can do, two staircases can be used in two ways and three lifts you may choose L1 or L2 or L3. So this is three ways. Total number of ways will be 2 plus 3 equal to 5. That means here reaching second floor from ground floor will be 5. Okay, now here the difference is whenever we take multiplication rule, we are using this and this and this. It means we can go to first floor, then we are going to second floor, right? So going to first floor happens in two different ways, and going to second floor happens in three different ways. Okay, that means and we are using and. I mean these two events are connected and two events are taken together. So that's why we are multiplying here. But in this case, you see, so you can use either staircases or lifts. You cannot use staircases and lifts. So that is the difference you have to identify. Okay. So two staircases, S1, S2 in two different ways, or three lifts, L1, L2, L3 in three different ways. So here the number of ways you can reach second floor from ground floor will be 2 plus 3, 5. Okay, is it clear? So fundamental principle of counting, we can take in this two types, right? One is multiplication rule, the other one is addition rule. Okay, so we can define in a proper mathematical way also. So this is one of the you can say important concept even in probability. So using and using or. Okay, so here as per your NCERT textbook, okay, fundamental principle of counting we can define like this. Fundamental principle of counting. Fundamental principle of counting. So here you define like this. If an event occurs, if an event occurs in m different ways, and corresponding to first event there is another event and another event which occurs in n different ways, then two events taken together, this, yeah, can occur in m into n different ways, just like no. So we have taken staircase, okay, and also so like selecting for school dress code, right? So first you are selecting any one of the two jeans. So with each jeans you are selecting any one of the three t-shirts. Now jeans, t-shirts, then any one of the two pairs of the sneakers, right? So this and this taken together, complete dress code means taken, I mean all this stuff taken together. Okay, so if an event occurs in m different ways and corresponding, I have not written this, if an event occurs in m different ways and corresponding to this event, another event which occurs in n different ways, then two events taken together can occur in m into n different ways. So this is fundamental principle of counting, and addition rule also I told you. Now next one is, yeah, so let me take some questions, one or two questions before we go to permutation, and we will be studying very new concept here, factorial notation also. So maybe I will refer first NCERT book. Okay, so let me take two questions. First question is, how many three-digit numbers can be formed from the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? The question is, how many three-digit numbers can be formed from the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if no digit is repeated? Okay, each digit is used only once. So we are forming three-digit numbers, right? So, and we are given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 digits. So three-digit numbers. So maybe you can see first place. So you have units place, tens place, hundreds place. So you can start either this side from, right side or left side. So here you see, so maybe you can take for first place, this place can be filled by any one of the five digits. You can place in first place here either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. So any one of the five digits can be placed in units place, that is five different ways. And when you place one of these five digits here, you are left with four digits. So remaining four digits can be placed in second place, tens place. So tens place can have choice of, filling any one of the remaining four digits. Now you are placing one digit out of five in first place, units place, and in tens place, any one of the four digits, right? So we are left with three digits now. So for hundreds place, we can place any one of the remaining three digits. Okay, so total number of this, three-digit numbers will be what? 5 into 4 into 3. Okay, 60. So total number of three-digit numbers formed is 60. So maybe one more question I can take from here. Yeah, coin is tossed three times and outcomes are recorded. How many possible outcomes are there? So you have studied this concept in earlier in probability. When three coins are tossed, yeah, one coin tossed three times, number of possible outcomes is 8. You have studied earlier. Now you see how can we, how it comes. So you have first coin, you are tossing the coin, so you are getting either head or tail, right? So it means for first coin, you have how many possibilities? Head or tail. Okay. So first time head or tail. Second time again you are having head or tail. Third one is third time. Yeah. So third time also you are getting head or tail. So the here you see whenever you writing three coins are there, no? Three coins. So here H or T. I'm writing like this only H T H T. So here you see whenever you are here, again it has two possibilities, H or T, right? H or T. And here also H or T. That means, yeah. So taken together means this event occurs in two different ways. This event occurs in two different ways, and this event occurs in two different ways. So three events taken together will occur in 2 into 2 into 2, 8 different ways. Okay, or otherwise what you can do, you can, take a tree diagram. Such diagram is known as tree diagram. Anyway, this is a simple question. So you have been using it since junior classes. Okay. So one more last question on this. How many three-digit even numbers can be formed from the digits 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. How many three-digit even numbers can be formed? Okay, we are given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have to form three-digit even numbers. So whenever we talk about even numbers, there are some restrictions, right? It means your units place, it can be filled with, or you can place in units place 2 or 4 or 6. So here 2 or 4 or 6. So any one of the three digits you can place here because the number is even. So for this three different ways, okay, three different ways. Now come to tens place. So you keep any one of these, no? So it means one digit is placed here, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So out of 6, we have taken one digit. So for this, we have any one of the 5 digits we can keep. So for tens place, we have 5 ways of filling the place, right? And now come to hundreds place. So we placed one digit in units place, one digit in tens place, then we are left with, yeah, 4 digits for hundreds place, right? So how many even numbers can be found? Number of even, I mean three-digit even numbers will be first place, three different ways, second place 5, third place 4, right? So it means we are getting 60. So number of even three-digit even numbers will be 60. So like this, you can apply this multiplication rule. I mean fundamental principle of counting. Okay. So if one thing you can just now observe, whenever it is and, it is taken together. So we are using multiplication rule. But whenever it is or, means they are not, they're separate cases. Like for example, I mean using either staircase or lift. So you cannot use staircase and lift. If you are going from ground floor to second floor and you have choices of using lifts or staircases, right? So you can use staircases or lifts. You cannot use both at the same time. So in that case, you are using addition rule. It means whenever you see or, that is plus. Whenever you see and, then it is multiplication. So that is the rule you can just know, you can identify whether I have to use multiplication rule or addition rule. Okay, so now next very new concept you can say. So one is, what is permutation? Okay, the permutation means what? So like whenever we talk among friends, like no various permutation, huh? So let's do various permutation combination. Let's do whenever we do some art and craft work. So we just not talk among ourselves. Okay, so let's do it mix and match, various color combinations, right? So that is basically permutation means what? Permutation means arrangement. Okay, so permutation means it is the arrangement of objects. So this is the arrangement of objects, arrangement of objects taken some or all at a time. Taken some or all at a time. So basically permutation, here key word is arrangement of objects. Okay. Now you see, whenever we take some or all at a time. So for example, yeah, how to denote it? Let me tell you this. Notation. The notation for permutation is, so we can say permutation of n objects taken r at a time, taken r at a time is denoted by NPR. We write like this, or in some books you will find it's written like this also. Okay, either you write like this or you write like this. Okay, so permutation of n objects taken r at a time. So whenever we say taken r at a time, here r should be less than equal to n. It means r cannot be more than 1 n. Okay. So let's before going for this permutation, I mean the formula, the concept. So I will tell you one more thing. What is called factorial? Factorial notation. Factorial notation means what? So the concept of factorial notation is basically, so whenever we say, suppose 1 into 2 into 3. See, in many cases now we do multiply the consecutive numbers. Okay. So whenever we multiply consecutive numbers, suppose for example, yeah, we define like this, yeah, n factorial. We write like this. It is read as factorial n. Factorial n. So n factorial is, it is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 up to n. So it means this is basically product of, that means it is product of first n consecutive numbers. In fact, we take here natural numbers. I'm writing here numbers because we have to do 0 factorial also. So consecutive numbers. Okay. So basically natural numbers. So let me take it back because 1, 2, 3, 4, we start from natural numbers. Natural numbers. Okay, so yeah, so I am just making it a bracket. So factorial notation. Okay, so it is yeah, product of first n consecutive natural numbers. Or you may write like this also. You may write 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n, or you write because multiplication is commutative and multiplication is associative also, right? So order in which we multiply doesn't matter. So we may write like this also, n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into n minus 3, like this, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we may write like this also. Okay, so n factorial is like this. It means, for example, if I write here, for example, if I write here 2 factorial, it means 1 into 2. Okay, if I write 3 factorial, it means 1 into 2 into 3. Okay, or 5 factorial means 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. So whether you write 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 or 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Okay, so no problem. Okay, so that is basically, this is the factorial notation. So that is product of first n consecutive natural numbers. Okay, and of course the special case is 0 factorial, that I will tell you. Okay, now coming back to a permutation things. Yeah, whenever we say NPR, so permutation of, whenever we say permutation of n objects taken r at a time, NPR. So let's define and let's understand it in a more, you can say, elaborative way. So we can say permutation of n objects taken r at a time can be said like this also, arranging n objects in r places. So it means suppose we have n objects. We have n objects and we have to arrange them in r places. Okay, so let me just write like this, the places, these are places. Okay, this is our rth place. Okay, now we have n objects, so let's arrange them. So here in first place, see, all n objects are there. Now first place can have any one of the n objects in n different ways. I hope this concept is clear. Now you are keeping any one of the n objects, so here one object is placed. Next you are left with n minus 1 objects. So second place, for second place, you have a choice of placing any one of the n minus 1 objects. Now you are keeping one object here. Then you are left with n minus 2. Here you have n minus 2 ways of putting the objects like this. So if you go like this, for rth place, see the pattern. Here first place n different ways, second place n minus 1, third place n minus 2, fourth place n minus 3. Rth place should be n minus of r minus 1, or you can say n minus r plus 1. So this ways of filling the rth place. Now all r places taken together, total number of arrangements should be what? Total number of arrangements would be n into n minus 1. We are using multiplication rule, fundamental principle of counting, n minus 2 like this, n minus r plus 1. Okay, but remembering this thing every time deriving the process is not possible. So we have to generalize some simpler way, generalize the formula type of thing, so that we can use it directly whenever we have to solve any question. Okay, so NPR is now like this. So let me take it like this, n into n minus 1, n minus 2, like this I am going till n minus r plus 1. And I know to get factorial notation, I have to start from 1 to that number, right? So n minus r plus 1, and we are going in backward direction. Okay, पीछे पीछे आ रहे हैं, अब देखो. So its previous number is n minus r, again previous number n minus r minus 1, like this. So in the end we are reaching 3, 2, 1. Okay, it means we are multiplying what? Extra. Okay, so now this quantity we are multiplying. Now same quantity we can multiply here, n minus r minus 1, n minus r minus 2, like this, 3, 2, 1. So whatever we have multiplied in the numerator, same thing we have multiplied in the denominator. Now you see, look at the numerator and denominator. So numerator is from n till 1, or you can say 1, 2, 3 up to n, which gives us factorial n. And in the denominator, 1, 2, 3 up to n minus r. So it is n minus r factorial, right? So what you can conclude from here, the NPR, permutation of n objects taken r at a time, is given by factorial n by factorial n minus r. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Okay, now next concept is Okay, so one thing is clear. Whenever we take NPR, we are getting n factorial by n minus r factorial, and of course here r less than equal to n. Okay, now here you see, suppose we have n objects taken all at a time, right? We have n objects and n places. Okay, now let's see. We have n objects and n places. This is your nth place. Now, if you want to arrange them, the first place you have all n objects. So you can place any one of the n objects here. Then only one object you will keep here. You are left with n minus 1 objects. So then you can place any one of the n minus 1 objects. Now after filling the second place, for third place, you can take any one of the remaining n minus 2 objects. So like this, in the end, I mean for nth place, you will be left with only one object, because number of places and number of objects equal, right? So here, in this case, if I write here, how many arrangements can be possible? N into n minus 1 into n minus 2, like this up to 1. So it means you are getting factorial n, right? So it means n objects arranged in n places. Yeah, arrangement of n objects taken all at a time can be done in factorial n different ways. So it means whenever we say n objects taken all at a time, that is npn. And if we apply formula, it is n factorial by n minus n factorial, right? So npn, what we have found now? We have found npn equal to factorial n. So factorial n equal to n factorial by 0 factorial. So this implies 0 factorial equal to 1. So this is the way to get what is 0 factorial. But if we go as per the definition, n factorial, the way we have defined, it is product of n consecutive natural numbers, right? But in using that, we cannot find 0 factorial, right? We can't say product of 0 consecutive natural numbers, right? So, so this is, you can say, the trivial case. So 0 factorial equal to 1, the way we get 0 factorial 1 can be taken like this. So we are taking n objects taken all at a time, that is factorial n, right? So if we take npn, I mean permutation of n objects taken n at a time, all at a time, we are getting n factorial by 0 factorial. So comparing the two calculations, I mean this is factorial n, which is same as n factorial by 0 factorial. So this gives us 0 factorial equal to 1. Is it clear? So this is a very, you can say, a good concept. Okay. So now, so this is the case, you can say, yeah. So we have studied what is permutation and the factorial notation and this fundamental principle of counting. Okay. And one more thing, yeah, permutation is basically arrangement of objects, right? So whenever arrangement things come, so we can use permutation. So now see, so permutation has various types. We can say linear permutation, circular permutation. Okay. So various types of permutations are there. So one by one we will be studying everything. Okay. Yeah. So now you see, if we take yeah, so now till now, whenever we say arrangement, what special thing you can observe? Whenever we say arrangement of objects, so in this case, order will be taken into consideration. Okay. So in case of permutation, order matters. Okay, it means ABC, BCA, CAB, these are three arrangements, right? Okay. Now here, unless it is mentioned, we have to consider it is without repetition. Whenever we take NPR equal to n factorial by n minus r factorial, it means here arrangement without repetition. Okay, without repetition. Okay, but if the things are repeated, suppose for example, you have R places. Okay, this is Rx place, and you have n objects. So if you have to arrange n objects in R places when things are repeated, so here you see any one of the n ways you can place any one of the n objects. Now things are repeated, so here also you can have n possibilities. Here also you can have n possibilities like this. So you have n possibilities. The total number of arrangements will be n into n into n r times. Means here arrangement of number of permutations of n objects taken r at a time when things are repeated will be n to the power r. And this is the reason why whenever you take the tossing of the coins, right? So tossing of the coins, whenever you take the two ways, again two ways, head or tail. Second event, you are getting head or tail. Third also you are getting head or tail. So because getting head in the first coin has no impact on getting head in the second coin. So that is different concept we will be studying later on. So basically here NPR equal to factorial n by factorial n minus r. So in this case, things are not repeated. That means each object will be used only once, right? But whenever repetition is allowed, n objects taken are at a time. So the number of permutations will be n to the power r. So this is the basic concept that we, have studied today. So in next class, we will be continuing with, other concepts and also related questions. So thank you so much and looking forward to see you in the next class and with some questions, right? Okay. So thank you once again for your patience and I hope it is the concepts we have covered today is clear to you.